Ever wondered what makes websites so, well, dynamic? Like they've gone way past just showing you pictures and text. Now they're like full-on interactive experiences.
It's wild, right?
It really is. But the thing is, it all comes down to this one thing, JavaScript.
Yeah, JavaScript. I mean, everyone's heard of HTML and CSS. Those are kind of the basics.
They build the core, set the style, sure.
But JavaScript,
Yeah.
that's the magic ingredient. It takes all that static stuff, the text, the images, and turns them into something you can actually engage with.
And that's exactly what we're diving deep into today. We've got this really cool podcast episode all about JavaScript. One of the things that caught my eye right away was how they define it. JavaScript is a programming language, primarily for web development. Simple as that.
And what they mean by that is basically it's like giving a set of instructions to your website. Tell it what to do, when to do it, how to react.
And that results in all those cool features we see online every day. Personalized recommendations, like when a streaming service suggests what you should watch.
Oh, totally. Or like those real-time score updates in sports apps.
Keeps you glued to the screen.
Exactly. JavaScript just makes the whole experience, well, more dynamic.
More engaging, too. Now, the source also gets into why this even matters to you, the listener. Because here's the thing. Even if you're not trying to be a master coder, just grasping the basics can give you a leg up.
No doubt. I mean, look around. Digital skills are gold these days, right?
Right.
And the source talks about all these career opportunities, web development, UX, UI design. It's all there.
It's true. Those fields are booming.
Totally.
Yeah.
But beyond that, just understanding how this technology works, how it shapes our online experiences, that's powerful.
It really is. So how does JavaScript work? The source actually does a great job breaking down these key concepts, like variables, for example. They had a really good analogy. Think of them as containers, right? Each one holds a specific type of data. Kind of like when you're cooking, you've got your labeled containers for flour, sugar, all that good stuff.
And to actually use those ingredients, you need functions. So functions are like blocks of code, and they each perform a specific task. Think of it like steps in a recipe first. You mix the flour and sugar, then you add the eggs, the drill. Each step gets you closer to the final dish, the final outcome of the code.
I'm following you. Okay, so you've got the ingredients, you've got the steps, but what actually kicks things off, that's where events come in.
Yeah. The source described events as triggers, and that's a perfect way to think about it. They tell the JavaScript when to actually execute those functions we were talking about.
So for example, let's say you're shopping online and you click that Add to Cart button.
There you go. That click. That's the event. It tells the JavaScript, hey, run this function that adds the item to the cart. And just like that, your cart updates.
Seamless.
It really is. It's amazing how it all comes together behind the scenes.
And speaking of things coming together, the source actually used a really helpful analogy to explain how JavaScript works with HTML and CSS. They compared it to building a house.
Classic analogy. And for good reason. So, you've got HTML, that's the structure of your house, the walls, the roof, the foundation, all that.
The bare bones.
Exactly. Then CSS comes in to style everything. It's like choosing the paint color, picking out furniture, adding those little decorative touches. It makes the house look good.
But then comes JavaScript.
And that's where it gets really interesting. JavaScript is like installing the electricity, the plumbing, putting in the appliances. It's what makes the house actually livable, functional, interactive.
I love that analogy. It really puts things into perspective. But let's say someone listening wants to do more than just understand. They want to actually learn JavaScript. What advice does the source give for getting started?
They had some really practical tips, like jumping right in and trying to build something. It doesn't have to be anything super complicated. Maybe a simple game or an interactive form, something like that.
The key is to learn by doing.
Absolutely. It's so much more effective than just reading about it.
And there's no shortage of resources out there to help. The source specifically mentioned some great online platforms like Free Code Camp and Codecademy.
Yeah, those are fantastic.
And the best part is they're free.
Free, high-quality learning resources. You really can't beat that.
You really can't. So we've explored the what, the why, and even the how of JavaScript. But now, here's a question for you, the listener. What will you create with this newfound knowledge? The possibilities with JavaScript really are limitless, and that's what makes it so exciting.